Okay. Welcome. I knocked something down just when I said that, right? Welcome each and every one of you here with us in person, joining us online. We're grateful you've chosen to be a part of this sacred moment. We gather in this hallowed space as witnesses to history because today marks the 60th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. A defining moment in the long ongoing struggle for justice and equality in this nation. We welcome you tonight not just into this building, but into the presence of the same God who brought us through cotton fields and courtrooms, through back doors and ballots, through redlining and poll taxes, through lynching trees and literary tests, through mass incarceration and economic exclusion. Tonight, Wednesday, August 6, 2025, we mark 60 years since the signing of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, a document that didn't just give us rights on paper, but acknowledged the price already paid in blood, sweat, and ballots. 60 years ago today, a piece of paper became a legal promise, and the movement behind it was born on the bridge at Selma. It was baptized in Birmingham. It was confirmed in Montgomery. And it marched its way right into Washington, D.C. with blistered feet and unbroken faith. Don't get it twisted. That victory didn't just come from the generosity of power. It came from the presence of the pressure of the people, from black folk who were tired of being counted as 3/5 and treated like 1/10, from elders who couldn't read a word of English but had enough wisdom to know injustice when they saw it, from freedom fighters who knew that faith without works is dead and democracy without access is a lie. And now here we are 60 years later, still fighting voter suppression, still fighting gerrymandering, still fighting the same wickedness in a new wardrobe. They don't use fire hoses now. They use felony records. They don't shut the door with chains. They shut it with ID laws and closed polling places. So tonight, welcome to a time of remembering, a time of standing up, and a time of renewal, because this isn't just another event. It's a moment for people who care about justice to come together and take a stand. This is a gathering of folks who understand that voting isn't just about politics. It's about honoring our values and showing up for what matters. And we don't just vote to choose candidates. We vote to honor those who've gone on before us. We vote to protect our children. So welcome. Let's lift every voice, not just in song, but in purpose. Let's stand on the shoulder of giants with our feet firmly planted on the ground. Dr. Jared Williams is coming now. Come on, put your hands together as he comes.
Good evening, Tarrant County. Oh, come on, we're in the church house. Good evening, Tarrant County. This is a special moment for me. It's an honor to stand here at Greater St. Stephen, the place where I was raised. I hear some amens. Where I watched my parents and leaders like Dr. Michael Bell stand for justice, dignity, and our fundamental rights time and time again. Dr. Bell, our community of faith didn't just teach me how to believe in Christ. It taught me how to stand with conviction, with compassion, and the courage to confront injustice wherever it lives. As a husband, a father, and a faith leader, I feel the weight of the kind of nation we're passing on to our children. And in my home, my family conversations lately have been grounded in a guiding principle we hold dear, that no amount of gain is worth the cost of losing our very heart, our very soul, our very families, and even our neighbor. And today we see that value being discarded carelessly by corrupt and power-hungry billionaires and political elites who have shown they will stop at nothing to amass absolute power for themselves at the expense of us, even if it means sacrificing our very existence and lives. They are redrawing maps to erase our communities. They are dismantling our civil and voting rights. They are stripping away dreams of working people like us and gutting safety nets meant to protect the most vulnerable of our neighbors from falling into despair. And so I've been sitting with a question from Scripture that says, and I'm going to revise a little bit, what will it profit a nation, this nation, to gain the world and lose its very soul? Our ancestors asked this very same question, and they answered it with their feet, marching on to justice. They answered it with their voices, crying out for rights and equal rights and protection and representation under the law. They cried out, and not only that, they even sacrificed even their lives, enduring suffering and racial terror, lynching, and even death for our freedom. I'm here to encourage y'all that while evil might be trying to take us backward, I believe what God has given us, no one can take away. Our dignity is not negotiable. Our presence is undeniable. And our unique identities are sacred and priceless to God. Many of you are here just like me because you still believe that better days lie in front of us. That justice will one day flow like the mighty Trinity River. That our light will shine even in dark times like these. And that our freedom will ring in every corner in this land until it reaches every corner in this land. And here's the thing, it will do that if we do not give up. If we do not give up. If we do not give up. So we stand in the middle of this historic moment that is beckoning for our movement. A movement that is rooted in truth, sustained by hope, strengthened by love, and calling us to action. To organize our families, our friends, and our neighbors like we've never done before. To defend our most precious rights like we've never done it before. And to vote for leaders with a proven commitment and a moral compass pointed towards justice. That starts today, and if we do that today, one day in the future, our children like mine, little Janelle and Jameson, 2 and 1 years old, will look back and remember this moment in history. And they will say that this nation, in this nation, I am seen. I am heard. I am valued. I am represented. And I am loved. Y'all ready to do this? It doesn't sound like y'all ready to do this. I said, are y'all ready to do this? We're building a movement in a moment, and I'm glad to do this with y'all and my friends up here. God bless y'all. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to introduce a friend not only of God, but a friend of mine and of our community, who has always proven that he has a heart for our community. I am honored to introduce my brother, Commissioner Roger Miles. Join me in welcoming him.
Good evening, brothers and sisters. Good evening, brothers and sisters. Amen. Today we mark the 60th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act, a law born from blood, faith, and sacrifice. It didn't come easy. The act was passed only months after Bloody Sunday in Selma, Alabama, where peaceful protesters were met with violence for demanding their right to the vote. This act sparked immediate political change. Voter registration among Black Americans surged across the South. It laid the groundwork for the rise of Black political power from city councils to Congress. The movement was led not just by men, but by courageous Black women like Diane Nash, Fannie Lou Hamer, and yes, my aunt, Earlene Dolores Miles, who fought not only for applause, they didn't fight for applause, but they fought for our access. The Black church was our rallying point, our strategy room, and our sanctuary for justice. And that's why we're here today at Greater St. Stephen First Church, standing on sacred ground with a sacred purpose. What the powers in the White House are trying to do, I've experienced, and so has my colleague, Commissioner Elisa Simmons, personally. We've seen it as her precinct was cracked of all of the Democratic voting power base. Hers was cracked by splitting her constituents across lines to weaken their power and to take from them the right to vote in the upcoming midterm election. They removed the economic engine and power in Precinct 1 and keep the people. But like in 1965, we have fighters for the people and for the truth. So I stand here and declare that I stand with Congressman Mark Vesey. I stand with Commissioner Elisa Simmons. And I stand with our brother Colin Allred. And I stand with every Democrat who walked out of Austin and went to Chicago. Let's support our brothers and sisters as they fight for our freedom. Beloved, we are standing in the heart of our community. In the house of a drum major for justice, Dr. Michael Bell, a leader who has never shied away from the front lines. Beloved, this is our moment and this is our time to build the backlash, not just in words, but in action. We're going to register voters. We're going to challenge unjust laws. We're going to show up at every election and demand for maps that reflect the people and not political manipulation. And as I get ready to take my seat, we are well aware of the playbook, and we've seen it before. But we also know this truth. When the people rise, power shifts. Let this be our new Selma moment. And let us rise up, because we will not be silent. We will not be erased. And we will not stop until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. Stand on your feet and let's move for progress. I almost forgot. I got caught up in the moment. But I want to introduce and bring up my colleague, my friend, and my sister, the drum major for justice on the County Commissioner's Court, your commissioner and my friend, Commissioner Elisa Simmons. Let's give it up for her.
He forgot about me. These preachers over here. Good evening, and you know where you are. You are at ground zero of redistricting. We are the proving ground. This is where your president got the idea to redistrict these congressional seats. He saw what our MAGA county judge was able to pull off on this Tarrant County Commissioner's Court. Commissioner Miles just shared with you what happened locally. And while we are enthralled and engulfed in what is happening at the national level, as we should be, don't forget what's happening right here in your footprint. Commissioners Court meets the first and third Tuesday of each month, but every damn day it's a fight. It's a fight, and if you paid attention to us yesterday, we eliminated this county's Human Services Department. We are not going to be helping senior citizens who can't pay their utility bills, those who can't pay their rent. We're outsourcing it without a plan. Admonish us on this occasion, but we're meeting, we're gathering, and we're talking. They are canvassing. They are knocking on doors now. So I am fussing at you. I'm begging you, because in here who come to Commissioner's Court every meeting, and they join me, they join us in that fight, and they see how defeated we are. We don't have the votes to save human services. We don't have the votes to discipline or hold the sheriff's budget, because we've had yet another jail death today. We've had yet another jail death today in Tarrant County. So if you want us to do something about it, we need a third vote. They're taking away our staffs, our commissioners. Our staffs are going away because they can. They can minimize our staff members. So it is incumbent upon each of you. We can sit here and observe today. Tomorrow, get out and do the work. And quit talking to each other. Everybody in here votes. So, now, last week I went reluctantly and spoke at that hearing at UT Arlington to urge our state lawmakers to not do what we've done here. It's intentional racial discrimination, pure and simple. How much damn power do they need? They have all the power. Like I say, Tarrant County's been in existence and quit unless I get a third vote. And it should be easy. These guys are coop nuts. We ought to be able to get enough people to see how unhinged they are. That's as good as I can. I'm not preaching to you. I'm fussing at you. I'm telling you to get people to the polls, drag them out of their houses, and start now. Don't start when the damn election cycle is here. Start now, because they're doing it. I get their newsletter. I see exactly what they're doing. It is not rocket science. I'm going to call up Congressman Mark Vesey, the man we need to keep right where he is. He is not sitting down for this, and we are right beside him, fighting to keep him in Congress where we put him. We put him there. So we're not going to let anybody remove him, are we? No. All right, come on, Congressman Vesey.
Elisa, thank you very much. How are y'all doing? Good, good. Well, I had a very early flight this morning, but you know what? I feel refreshed because I was coming back from Chicago, Illinois, where the Democrats in the Texas House of Representatives broke quorum to stop this discriminatory, racist map that Donald Trump is making servile, subservient Greg Abbott do. Let's make it clear. Let's make it 100% clear. And I got to tell you, those legislators are brave. They have a lot to lose. They got a lot to lose. I want y'all to go on social media and show them some love. Go on there, follow Texas Democrats. Follow their individual sites. Show them some love. Let them know that you appreciate what they are doing, because this fight that Donald Trump has picked, it is just starting in Texas. It's going to Missouri next. It's going to Indiana. It's going to other states. He is going to do everything he can to cheat his way into making sure that he does not lose the House of Representatives majority, and that Democrats do not get that majority. And that is what this is all about. The one thing that keeps Donald Trump up at night, the one thing, it's not protest, it's not anything else that you see. The one thing that keeps him up at night is losing that majority in the House. And it all starts right here in Texas. And I got to tell you, I was thinking about what they're doing to the district that I represent. And I got to tell you, it really made me think 10 years prior to the Voting Rights Act. And for those of you that are from Fort Worth, you know these areas, like the areas that me and Roderick used to play in when we were kids. And they're in the 33rd Congressional District. But for some of you, I just want you to use your imagination. If you're not familiar with this area that I'm about to talk about, one of those areas I'm going to talk about is Carver Heights. Stop 6. One of the things that I didn't notice, you know, when you're a kid and you're in your grandmother's yard playing throw-up tackle and hide and go seek and things like that, you don't think about the significance of things because that's not the season of life that you're in. You're just having fun. But as you get older and things become more important, you think about them and you see them differently. And I was in my 20s. And I noticed, I said, these streets are named after people from World War II. Ellington, Bunch, from Ralph Bunch, Lucas Drive, Truman, MacArthur, World War II heroes. And I think about the African Americans that settled in that area, many of whom are relatives of many of us in this room, that settled in that area, fought in World War II, helped build planes for World War II at the bomber plant. For all the new people out there, that's Lockheed now. Helped build planes at the bomber plant, helped build helicopters for Korea and Vietnam, and came back to a segregated Fort Worth, a Fort Worth that wouldn't allow them to go to Leonard's department store, a Fort Worth that would only allow us to swim at the pool on Juneteenth, couldn't use it any other time, and then after we finished using it, they drained it. And you think about what they're doing to us now in this congressional redistricting scheme, treating us like second-class citizens yet again. And Pastor Bell, I'm not going to curse in your church today, but I got to tell you, we ain't going to take this crap. And we're not going to take it. "60 years ago, another Texan from South Texas, Lyndon Baines Johnson, signed the Voting Rights Act into law. And he called the vote the most powerful weapon ever devised by man to break down injustice. And today, Trump and his subservient lapdog, Greg Abbott, is attacking that fundamental right. And you think about in Fort Worth, the long road after the Voting Rights Act was signed, how long it took us to elect city council people, how long it took us to elect our first black county commissioner, Dion Bagsby, that all of us knew. You think about Garfield Thompson, who was a World War II veteran that lived right off of Stall Cup, that served in the State House of Representatives, how long it took for us to get there. And you see that they're starting to slowly dismantle this and pretend that it's not about race. Oh, it's okay to do that to the black community because they're all Democrats. That's what the Republicans are saying. We're not doing that to them because they're black. We're doing it because they're Democrats. And those people with those Harvard degrees and those black robes that sit up there on that Supreme Court, they are eager to buy into that BS. I said I wasn't going to curse, Pastor Bell, but that they are eager to buy into it. Way too eager to buy into it. And I got to tell you, we got to do everything we can to defeat these racist maps. And we got to also remind people that we don't like when people cheat in the middle of the game. Because when Roderick and I was growing up over here, if we was outside playing some 25 and somebody cheated in the middle of the game, that's when the game all went to you know what. Because you don't cheat in the middle of the game. If you're going to check the ball and set the rules, and that's what you're going to play by. And that's how that goes. And so these lawmakers that are in Chicago, they're heroes. They are denying quorum by being there. And they are denying Trump the chance to gut public schools. They are denying Trump the chance to ignore gun violence. They are denying Trump the opportunity to terrorize families with ICE even more. And they are doing everything they can to make sure that this country that all of us love, including many of our relatives that were told they couldn't use the pool at a certain time and was told they couldn't shop at a certain department store, that still gave everything for this country, for this state, for this county, for this city, even after being called names that we don't even want to mention in the house of the Lord, and they still treat us like this. But this is more than about maps. This is about power. This is about whether we, the people, and we, the people in Southeast Fort Worth, and we, the people on the north side of Fort Worth, the black and brown communities of Fort Worth will still get the opportunity to choose their leaders, or whether or not we're going to let Trump and Greg Abbott choose our leaders. And I promise you, whatever happens with this quorum break, the next battle is going to be in court, and we're going to go and fight in the courthouse. And then the other thing that I'm going to promise you too, for too long, Democrats have played this little faculty lounge game. Faculty lounge. Well, I went to Harvard, and the rule of law says this, and I learned this at Harvard Law School and at Yale Law School. We're not playing that no more. If they gonna bring a knife, If they gonna bring a knife, we gonna bring a knife. They are trying to bulldoze our rights, and we are going to do everything that we can to stop them. We will not unilaterally disarm.
No. No.
One of the things that Roderick and I learned about bullies growing up was that if you don't stand up for yourself, they'll keep doing it. And it's better to go out there and fight, even if you get your butt whipped.
Yeah.
It's better to go out there and fight. Because if you don't, they're going to keep coming back.
That's right. You're right, brother.
And in 2003, when Tom DeLay decided he was going to redistrict, we didn't fight back. Not one blue state did congressional redistricting. But I got to tell you, man, what I'm seeing out of Gavin Newsom is impressing me. What I'm seeing out of Gavin Newsom is impressing me. Gavin Newsom said, we're going to bring a knife to the knife fight. And if you're going to do redistricting in Texas, we're going to do redistricting in the state of California. And when we get back to D.C. in September, I'm going to see Darrell Issa, and I'm going to say, Darrell, y'all was going to draw me out, but it looked like you're going with me, buddy. And for all of the activists that are out there, all of you that are on social media, on these platforms, Instagram, Facebook, y'all encourage these other governors, these other blue governors, to also drop that little faculty lounge, rule of law stuff. These Republicans got this Federalist Society interpreting the law all kinds of different ways. All these states have rules on redistricting, and ain't none of these red states following none of the rules because these Federalist Society state Supreme Court justices have basically said that these legislatures don't have to, and we still trying to play faculty lounge and follow the rules. That's ridiculous. If y'all got friends out there in Washington, if y'all got friends out there in New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Colorado, tell them to get to drawing. Tell them to get to redrawing those maps and send some of those Republican members of Congress packing. Because my dear friend Hakeem Jeffries that I came into Congress with in 2012, and I truly believe Hakeem will be the first black Speaker of the House. I truly believe that. I truly believe that. Regardless of what Donald Trump and Greg Abbott are trying to do, Hakeem is going to be that. That's in his future. But Hakeem shouldn't be the only person worried about what's happening to the members of Congress in his caucus. We need Mike Johnson from right down the street in Shreveport on the other side of Marshall. We need Mike Johnson's people calling him up from California, from Washington State, from Oregon, from Illinois, from New York, from New Jersey, from Colorado, saying, Speaker Johnson, why are you not standing up for us? Why won't you stand up to Donald Trump? Why will you not back the members in your caucus? And so we need for them to reach out to Mike Johnson and let him know that he needs to stand up to Donald Trump. And so the time for all of us right now, it's time for us to stand up, and show out. And we're going to have a hard road ahead of us, but, you know, I'm feeling good about 2026. Despite all of this, I'm feeling great about 2026. And one of the reasons why I'm feeling great about 2026 is that one of my former colleagues named Colin Alder decided that he was going to run for the United States Senate. You know, my son is 19 years old now, and Colin's two boys are much younger, but they're growing fast. They are growing very fast. And one of the things that Colin and I often talk about are our kids. And the one thing that impresses me more about Colin than his political acumen and his desire to serve is how much he loves his family. This man loves his wife and his boys and will do anything for them. And he is making a big sacrifice to run for the Senate again. But it's important that he be there because y'all heard me list the litany of things that are going on in this state. And we need real leaders. We need tough leaders. This is an individual that graduated from Hillcrest High School, made great grades, was team captain at Baylor Bears down in Waco, and had the opportunity to play in the NFL and used that opportunity to continue to grow his mind. When he got out of the NFL, he decided that, you know what, I want to help people. I want to help people that the Republicans are discriminating against. And Colin decided that he was going to go to law school. And he went to law school and worked in the Obama administration and did an outstanding job. Did an outstanding job. And I know Colin. He is the type of person, I observed him as someone that got elected a few terms before he did, and watched how he interacted with different people on the House floor, with the CBC, with the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, with the Congressional Asian Caucus, with our left coast people and our friends that are on the East Coast. And Colin was just an amazing collaborator that really brought everybody together. He used those skills that he learned as team captain at Baylor in Waco and really worked hard to bridge the gap and disagreements that we would have within our caucus, and he did a tremendous job. But I also know that if we are to get to 50+1 and make this man the next senator from the state of Texas, that we got to bring some more people on board as well. We're not going to do it with just us, like Elisa was just saying a second ago about how don't tell other people in this room to go and vote. Everybody in this room is going to go and vote. We have to expand that pool. We have to expand that universe and make it larger and find issues and common ground with individuals. That's something that Colin has been doing his entire life. He had to do it at Hillcrest, he had to do it at Baylor, he had to do it in the NFL. And I'm telling you, this is a true natural leader. And he is ready to lead our state and lead us out of the darkness that Donald Trump and Greg Abbott and Republicans before them continue to put us through. And if we get out there and vote, and we tell our friends, our family, our neighbors just how important this election cycle is, this man will get elected. This man will get elected. I want y'all to help him out too. I want y'all to help him out. One of the things in politics is that you learn that if you're going to get elected, you have to ask for money. Pastor Bell will tell you, I've called him plenty of times asking for money. Not something that we necessarily like doing, but it's something that has to be done. And I always tell people that if you don't want to do that, don't run. This man is going to need some help, and I'm asking for him. Y'all give him some money. Y'all write this man a check. If you can write a $5, if you can go online and do $5, you can go online and do 10, 15, 20. If you can go online and do 1,000, I need for you to help him out because we need to put this to an end. This is a hot mess. It's a hot mess. And it's just getting worse. They thought it couldn't get worse after the first term. It got worse. But we have the man that can stop it right now. We got the man that can stop it right here. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you the next senator from the Lone Star State, the great state of Texas, from right here in North Texas, Colin Aldrich.
All right, y'all. All right. Really quick. Mark's got to get out of here because he's got to get on a Zoom. But don't worry, we look a lot alike. When I first got elected to Congress, he used to bring me his mail. I'm not kidding. I guess they think we all look alike. All right, Mark, go on, brother, go on. Thank you, man, appreciate you. I gotta tell you, I woke up fired up. Fired up. And I've been thinking, who the hell do these people think they are? I'm sorry, Pastor, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I shouldn't have said it. But who the hell do they think they are? On the 60th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act, they're gonna come out here and with no rationale at all, just say, we're just gonna take 5 seats. You know, when I first started doing voting rights work, it was a lot more subtle, Dr. Bell. It was a lot more subtle. In fact, we had to bring in experts sometimes to prove what they were trying to do. You know, we had to explain to people how this was going to impact folks. We don't have to do that anymore. Because they're just going to come out and say it. And we're trying to silence folks' voices. 60 years ago, they will take us back. Mark and I served with John Lewis. Y'all remember John Lewis? Mr. Lewis used to tell us in the Congressional Black Caucus, he'd tell us, you know, sometimes I think they're trying to take us back to another time and another place. He was 25 years old when he walked across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. He was greeted by a mob led by law enforcement that attacked this group of peaceful protesters who were singing and praying, saying, we shall overcome. That's what they were saying. His skull was cracked. He thought he was gonna die. And the images were so shocking that they called it Bloody Sunday. And it led to a president who was a Southerner, but who had a heart for empathy and justice, to repeat those words of protest from the well of the Congress and to say, we shall overcome, and we will pass the Voting Rights Act. And that's why we're here. That's why I became a voting rights lawyer. Hang with me for a second, because I want to tell you what the Voting Rights Act does and what they've done to it and what we have to do to fix it. Because there's 2 main components that protect you and me and our democracy, and that I've used in my career as a voting rights lawyer. You can think of it as a sword and a shield. Okay? You with me, Pastor? All right. So the shield is Section 5, which was the pre-clearance regime. It said that in certain states, if you had practices of discriminating over decades, then we're going to make sure if you make any change to voting, it's got to get pre-cleared by a court or by DOJ. And so it would slow down actions like what they're trying to do right now. But this Supreme Court, that's incredibly hostile to voting, said that, no, you know what? It's not raining on us the way it used to rain, so we're going to get rid of our umbrella. And so they struck down the provision in Section 5 that applied to states like ours. So now they can go ahead and do this. And I was doing voting rights at the time, and you know what they did immediately? As soon as that law was struck down, they put in place the voter ID law. That voter ID law, y'all remember when it first came in 2014? If you were married and you changed your name, all of a sudden your ID might not work. If you were a senior citizen, you wanted to vote in person, but your ID had expired, it might not work. If you had a student ID, you couldn't use that student ID, but you sure could use a concealed handgun license, right? That's what they put in place right as soon as that law passed. And then we got another section, Section 2. Section 2 is what we use to challenge laws in court. That's what we use to go out there and say, this law is racially discriminatory. And you know what they're going to do? This Supreme Court's going to strike that down. The Voting Rights Act for 60 years has protected our democracy. But we're probably going to lose it. So we got to come back and say, you know what? We're going to go with a different model. The courts are not going to be the backstop for our rights anymore. The courts are not going to protect us, Commissioner. So we got to affirmatively go out and take our power. We got to pass laws to affirmatively enshrine into law the right to vote. When you turn 18, you should be registered to vote automatically. Automatically. You get a Social Security card, you should get a voter ID card, right? Everywhere you go, we should know that you are a registered voter and you're ready to vote. We should say, you know what, you worried about voter fraud? Okay, here's your card to vote, Pastor. So we'll make sure that we know exactly who you are. So that everywhere you go, it's easy for you to walk into a polling place and it's on the state to know who you are, not on the individual. That we can say that we're going to ban gerrymandering in this country. Listen. This is not science fiction. This is not fantasy, okay? We already passed a bill when I was in Congress called the For the People Act. We passed it out of the House of Representatives. We had 50 senators and a vice president willing to sign it, to send it to a president to become law. But you know what was in the way? The filibuster. Let me tell you a little bit about the filibuster. The filibuster was almost exclusively used for our history, for most of our history, to block anti-voting or pro-voting, anti-lynching, and civil rights laws. But you know what you had to do to filibuster back then? You had to stand up. You had to talk. And it was a single track, meaning that no other laws were passing while you were talking, so you had to hold the floor. But you know, they changed that in the last couple of decades, so now that every bill gets the filibuster applied to it, but you don't have to stand up and talk. All you got to do is say, I object. And when you object, then it's got to go to 60 votes. Well, why do you object? Tell us. Let's hear it. Let's have a discussion. Y'all remember when Cory Booker was doing his filibuster? Anybody, y'all remember see that, right? Did you share it with anybody? Did you talk about it? Did you hear about it? You know, they used to call the United States Senate the greatest deliberative body in the history of the world. Do you see any deliberation going on there now? It's because we got a broken and fundamentally corrupt Congress. So we got to ban gerrymandering, and we got to reform the filibuster to return it to its original use so that we can pass the For the People Act, the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, and we don't have to deal with this nonsense anymore. That's what we got to do. Commissioner Miles and Commissioner Simmons tell you how they're fighting, but that they're trying to take away their voice. To take Mark Vesey out of his district, it means more than just a congressional seat being lost. He knows Stop 6. He knows the cross streets in his district. When something happens in his district, he knows what to do to help it. That's what public service is. It's not just about a vote or a party. We're here to serve people. It's supposed to be that people call your office for help. What do they call you for, Commissioner? I know what they called me for. It wasn't because they thought we could do everything for them. It's because they had a small problem with the IRS, with the Small Business Administration, or the vets, the VA, and they wanted a little bit of help. Who are you going to call when you got maps like this? When you don't even know who your congressperson is? Who are you going to call when they don't even know who you are? The district I ran for in Congress that I represented, I was born and raised in that district. I was born in a hospital in that district. My high school was in that district. My family lived in that district. I knew every cross street in that district. If something happened, I knew where it happened. And, you know, so when you draw these lines like this, you don't just take one seat from here and put it there. You remove public servants who care about their people. And what do they want to do it for? Is it so that they can help people? Is it so they can get in office and invest in infrastructure, invest in our schools, try and fix the issue at the border instead of just use it for politics? No. They get in there, and we saw what they did with this big bust of a bill that they passed, right? They said, well, we got to get back to what we normally do. We got to cut taxes for the rich right here. But in order to balance the books a little bit, we're going to do it on the backs of hardworking people. We're going to kick over 1 million Texans off their health insurance. Are you kidding me? In the state with the highest uninsured rate in the country? Are you kidding me? You know what we got in this state? We do have universal health care. You know how we do it? At the emergency room. We do it where you come in, you need a surgery for an ulcer, when 10 months earlier you could have had a pill. And it don't make any sense. And they want to make it worse? They're going to raise working people's energy costs. Because they said, we don't want to do wind and solar. You know what the #1 wind state in the country is? Texas. You know what the #2 solar state in the country is? Texas. You know what one of our fastest growing jobs in this state is? Renewable energy. What you talking about? And when they do that, when they raise your costs and they kick people off their health care, and they're doing it just to cut taxes for the rich, after they ran an election saying we're going to be on working people's side. And I can't stand it. Because I grew up a little bit tough. You know, when you're raised like I was by a single mother who's a public school teacher in a state where we don't pay our teachers enough, you rely on a community. You need that community to step up for you. All those things that Mark said that I did, and I appreciate him saying that, you know, my twin, it's because of the community that I came from, I had a chance to do that. I'm a YMCA kid. I went to the Y so much, they started saying, you can just come for free. You know what I mean? That's why I'm standing in front of you. And when you grow up like that, because we used to use my mom's teacher's credit union debit card. Not credit card. Debit card. And we'd swipe that thing at Tom Thumb or somewhere like that, and we'd try to get out of there fast, boy, I tell you what. Because we didn't know if it was going to go through. And if it did, do a happy dance. And when you grow up that way, and you know that every dollar counts for working people, and then you have an election where people say, we're going to lower your costs. We're going to be on your side. And then they lie to you and turn around and raise your costs and make it harder for you to get ahead. That's not right. These folks were betrayed. They were lied to. And they're doing it all just so they can give power to themselves and to their wealthy donors and to their special interests. And I've had enough of it. Have you? So we ain't going to stand for this now. We're not going to sit for it. We're not going to walk for it. We're not going to run for it. We're not going to put up with it. We're not going to have this in our state. We're not going to have this in our country. This is not who we are as a people. We know we can do better. We got to get out. We know what we got to do, right? Y'all all know. This is not right. It's not right. And if you see something that's not right, if you know something's not right, then say something, do something, get in good trouble, necessary trouble. That's what John Lewis would tell us to do. I told y'all I was fired up. And I'm going to finish with, because I'm in church. And I went to Baylor. So I'm, my family's Methodist, but I'm a little Baptist. You know what I mean? Like, I got a lot of Baptists in me. Yeah, okay, you got a good Methodist. There you go, brother. We don't choose some of these things. You know what I mean? They choose that. And I've thought about this a lot because there's the passage in the book of Micah. Pastor, I know I'm going to get it wrong. Okay. Well, they're talking about Zion and building Zion. They're going to turn their swords after the conflict. And when they're going to build their beloved community, what are they going to do, Pastor? They're going to turn their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. I don't know what a pruning hook is, but that's what they're going to do, okay, right? And Micah says, and this is a vision he's presenting to people. He says to people, and everyone will sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. It's a vision of a just country. That's what it is. Where you don't have to be afraid of your government. Where you don't have to be afraid of some agent knocking on your door or somebody wearing a mask taking somebody off a street. Because in a just country, that doesn't happen. No one's going to make you afraid. But it's your vine and your fig tree, and you can experience the fruits of your labor in that country. And it's up to you what you do with it. But in that just country, if we give you that chance, then you might just do something with it. You might become a member of Congress when you were born to nothing. My birth certificate had 2 names on it, my mom's and mine. And here I am, because of y'all, because of us, because of who we are as a people. And so in a just country, you shouldn't have to be afraid. In a just country, we can do this together. You can experience the benefits of your own hard work. Isn't that what it's really about? Isn't that what it's really about? Y'all don't want us. Nobody's asking for us to make it so that you get everything. All you ask for is a chance. That's it. This young man right here, if we don't give you a chance, it's not on you. It's on us. My boys are 4 and 6. They're 4 and 6. This is y'all's country. I can't give you a country that's not working. Because you know what democracy really is? It's a relay race. It's a relay race of one generation of Americans handing off the baton to the next, right? That's what it is. And we can't drop the baton. We can't be the generation that drops it. Because these young people deserve a chance. They deserve a government that they can believe in. I understand why folks might be cynical. Heck, I'm cynical. You see people trading stocks on issues that they're voting on. Get out of here. We should ban stock trading by members of Congress. That's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. For 6 years, I never traded a single stock. You know why? Because I had insider information. You know? So I understand why you're cynical. Because then they come along, they're going to draw these maps, and then people are going to walk away and say, well, it's just the way it is. Not this time, though. Not today. Today, we got to build the backlash, right? We got to make sure that they know, they hear us all the way in Washington, D.C. They hear us. Oh, that in Tarrant County, they're upset. In Tarrant County, they're not going to put up with it. In Tarrant County, they know who they are and they know what they got to fight for. And we're going to fight. We're in a fight. This ain't a normal election. This ain't a normal time. We got to fight for what we believe in, for our families, for our communities, for our state, for our country, for our Constitution. Your whole life, you've been pledging allegiance to the flag. The question is, did you need it? And so I want to thank y'all. It's unbelievable to be here at Greater St. Stephen First Church. I want to thank the commissioners for taking time out. They've been through the ringer. Dr. Williams is a good friend of mine. We both have young children. He's an excellent leader. Thank you, Dr. Williams. I want to thank y'all for coming out here. When you could have been doing a lot of stuff, you could have been on Netflix. You know, this is better. Yeah. I would say you could be watching or listening to public radio or public television, but they're trying to get rid of that, you know. They got to put a $200 million ballroom on the White House, you know. They can't afford a Sesame Street. Yeah. What is it? Okay, you want to do it? You ready? How you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling? You fired up? You ready to go? You fired up? You ready to go? All right, let's go do it together then. I appreciate y'all. Let's do it.
Oh, come on, put your hands together. Make some noise. Make some noise. Come on, put your hands together.
Good evening, good evening. Mr. Allred will stay around for a little bit to answer some questions, shake some hands, take some pictures. Outside of that, that concludes our program. So thank you all for being here and have a great night.